You ever stare at something you bought and just sigh? Like deep, existential, therapy-level sigh? You don't even use it. You don't even like it. But there it is. Proof that at some point in your life, you thought a milk frother would change everything. Welcome to the spiritual journey of making peace with your past purchases. Because if you're like me, your house, your bank account, and your soul are all haunted by the ghosts of decisions made during a treat-yourself phase. Yeah. Let's unpack this emotional baggage together. At first, you don't even realize you've made a mistake. You unbox it. You smell the plastic. You're excited. You think, yes, this is the answer. It's giving new life arc, new you, new habits, new hobbies, new financial disaster. But then, 3 days later, you're staring at that 80-pound air fryer like it personally betrayed you. Spoiler, it didn't. You betrayed yourself. You cooked one sweet potato in it and never touched it again. And now it lives in the top cabinet, next to that blender that thinks it's a food processor but has never fully committed. You start calling it the shelf of ambition. Translation, things you thought would change your life but only changed your bank balance. You avoid looking at it, like an X in the supermarket. You can't even bring yourself to touch it, because the minute you do, you'll remember what it cost. £129 and 99 pence. And you paid full price. You didn't even wait for Black Friday. You bought it on a Wednesday at 1 a.m. because some influencer convinced you you'd start drinking green smoothies. You haven't eaten a vegetable in 3 weeks. So now it sits there, judging you, like a plastic therapist. You said you'd change, it whispers. And you did not. Oh no, now you're going through your old bank statements. Bad idea. You thought memory lane would be cute? Instead, it's a horror movie. 54 pounds on crystals? You don't even believe in energy healing. 112 pounds on a fitness tracker? You haven't walked more than 200 steps in a day since 2022. 300 pounds on skincare? Your skin looks the same. The same. Just shinier. At this point, you don't even know who you were back then. But whoever that was, they had hope. They thought a Himalayan salt lamp would fix their sleep. They thought a Kindle would make them a reader. They thought they needed 4 types of running shoes. They don't even run. Okay, breathe. It's time to face the items. Go around your house and touch each one. Yes, even the yoga mat still rolled in plastic. Ask yourself, did I use this? Did I need this? Did I buy this because I was sad, bored, or trying to impress someone with my aesthetic? You'd be shocked how many of your purchases were emotional support objects. Like that 60-pound minimalist kettle? That was a cry for help. That 35-pound monthly stationery subscription box? That was your inner child trying to heal. And that 90-pound light-up mirror? You were going through something, weren't you? It's tempting to blame others. The algorithm, the sales, the TikTok girl with flawless skin and an accent that made you trust her. Even though she was 19, living rent-free and clearly had a ring light and no bills. But here's the truth bomb. You clicked. You added to cart. You confirmed payment. You are the drama. It's not your mom's fault. It's not capitalism's fault. Okay, maybe it is a little bit capitalism. But mostly it was you, scrolling at 2 a.m., whispering, just this one time. Now you try to lie to yourself. You start saying things like, it was an investment. It's still cheaper than therapy. I'll use it when I move into a bigger place. You live in a studio flat. The yoga swing is mounted in a place where you can't even stretch your arms. The pasta maker hasn't even touched dough. You don't even eat carbs. You're gluten-free when you remember. But oh, the lies we tell to soften the blow. Maybe I'll sell it. You won't. Maybe I'll gift it. No one wants your half-used LED face mask that looks like Iron Man had a spa day. One day, something snaps. You've had enough. You put everything in the maybe pile. The pile is the size of your guilt. And now, You declutter, like a cleansing ritual, like an exorcism for your bank account. One bag for donations, one bag for what was I thinking, one bag for let's never speak of this again. You're not just clearing space. You're confronting the version of you who believed money could fix loneliness, boredom, or an identity crisis. Turns out it can't. But you can. You start telling yourself the truth. That sometimes you spent money because you were stressed, or lonely, or trying to impress people who didn't even notice. That sometimes the things you bought weren't about function. They were about fantasy. The fantasy of being organized. The fantasy of being a different person. The fantasy of being someone who wakes up at 5 a.m. to do journaling and drink hot lemon water. But it's okay, because those purchases were your best attempt at self-care. Even if they were wrong, even if they were expensive, even if they still have tags on them. You don't have to keep punishing yourself. The money's gone. But the lesson? Oh, you paid for that lesson in full, with VAT. You now look at things before buying and ask, will I still want this in 72 hours? Is this solving a real problem, or just creating a new one? Will this end up on the shelf of shame? You start to see money not as therapy, but as a tool, a resource, not a reward for surviving the week, not a personality, not a filler for whatever emotional hole you're trying to patch with a new juicer. Now, you're dangerous. You walk through shops with power. You say no like it's a sacred word. You unsubscribe from marketing emails like a warrior. You laugh at Instagram ads like, nice try, demon. You've become the friend who says, do you really need that? You've become the person who only shops with intention. You still make mistakes, but now they're fewer and less stupid. You still buy dumb things, but now they're funny dumb, not life crisis dumb. Here's the twist. You don't have to hate past you. They were doing their best with the tools they had, even if those tools were an overpriced planner and a meditation subscription you never opened. Forgive them. They were trying to grow. They just had poor judgment and a discount code. Let go. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the shame. Let go of the French press that never made your mornings magical. Turn that regret into a story. Turn that story into a laugh. Turn that laugh into a lesson. And turn that lesson into power. Final words. Make peace, not purchases. You are more than your mistakes. You are more than your spending habits. You are not your worst decision from 2021. You are not that 200-pound course on how to be a digital nomad. Although that was a particularly ambitious moment. You are evolving, learning. And every weird, useless, oddly shaped thing you bought is now a badge of growth. So make peace with it. Burn some sage. Or just list it on eBay. Either way, move on. And next time, maybe just make a sandwich before shopping. Because half of your purchases were made on an empty stomach. The other half? On an empty soul. And now you know better.